April Fool's Day. You know, I used to do April Fool's jokes, but nowadays, every single day when we wake up, we think something is April Fool's because every day seems like April Fool's Day to me. I promise you. So I guess I could say the forecast calls for snow today. It'll be the only April Fool's joke that I could possibly come up with today on this Wednesday, Hump Day, April 1st. Of course, it is. Of course, it is 2026, ladies and gentlemen. 2026. That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh yeah. So we are live on Restream, which carries us over to Facebook Live, also YouTube Live. It carries us over to D&K Podcast Live, Get Unleashed Media Live, at Daryl Arnold MS, at Rumble, and so many more. So many more. So many is kind of hard to keep up with today. You know what I'm saying? I bet you do. Anyway, if you are one of those people that gets into April Fools, good for you. If not, welcome, 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 welcome. All right. So anyway, today again is April 1st. If you are just joining me and just waking up because it's early, hello, 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 and a big hello. All right. Today also, which is not April Fool's, is going to be Grip and Grin over at Mama Hamil's on Highway 51 in Madison, Ridgeland. The authentic, original Mama Hamil's. Get there early. Grip and Grin always does well. I think the keynote speaker today would be Delbert Hoseman. Um, Not really a big Delbert Hoseman fan, but hey, we all get together and talk about things that need to be talked about. Okay? We talk about things that need to be talked about, not only locally, but in the entire country, obviously, because it's continuing to change, my friends. I've been just freaking out outrageously regarding all these states, these cities. I mean, Texas, the Dallas area, man, when I lived there for a while, man, I had no idea the Sharia law, the Sharia is taking over Plano, Garland, all the outskirts of Dallas. What the hell is happening in Texas? So don't think for a minute it can't happen to you wherever you are. Okay? Don't think it can't happen to you wherever you are because obviously Texas has made that perfectly clear that it can. Scary, scary times. Scary times. We've been telling you on this show for a long time that, you know, things are a changing, my friends. Things are a changing, and they're changing fast. I would say take care of your family, but make sure you understand these people don't care, ladies and gentlemen. They don't care at all. Not one single bit. Or as the old people used to say back in my day, they don't care one iota what you or me think. They don't like us anyway. They do not like us anyway. They don't. That's a fact. Pretty scary, but also true. Pretty scary, but also true. April 1st. When's somebody going to get me on a quote April Fool's joke? A joke, a Joke. We shall see, right? We shall see. Unleashed, uninhibited, unapologetic. My name is Daryl Arnold. 104.3 FM is the radio show. Live stream is everywhere. Our sponsors, MS Coding, mscoding.org, mscoding.org, Cypress Point Resort, baby. CypressPointMS.com, at Cypress Point on Facebook, Cypress Point Events and Catering, Cameron's Garage Music, Cameron's Garage Everything, The Tavern, all of that's combined at Cypress Point. And of course, Mobility Medical Inc. They've been with us forever. That's Mobility Medical on Lakeland Drive. You need a CPAP? You need all that stuff? Mobility Medical Inc. Call them, go see them. Lakeland Drive near Airport Road. Been there over 20 plus years. And all that. Been getting a lot of reaction from some of the reels and the posts that we've been putting up at the Unleashed Network. Foolishness, of course. These people that are paid with this propaganda stuff to really and truly go after anything and everything that has to do with the Trump administration. So some of those people would be so-called ex-MAGA people bailing, running away chicken when things get a little tough. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, y'all. Seriously. But that's what's happening. That is what's happening. Real men, real women, real Americans, they don't bail out on the country and the leadership when things get tough. Politics has become, quite frankly, though, the new religion, which is scary because that's not the way it's supposed to be. Politics has become the new religion for the radical left. I do mean the far left of the party, which is basically what we have going on now is the far left anyway. But the far left and the politics has become their new religion. It's crazy. Psychotherapists who criticize No King protests. These people are serious, though. There's a story. I have to play this story by Dr. Stephen Turley. I don't know if you've ever checked him out, but he has some very interesting topics, but they happen to be true in what's going on. So he studied all this. He's read all these stories from Gateway Pundit and from New York Post, and then he analyzes these type stories. And this is what's going on, people. The radical left's new religion is politics.
A New York psychotherapist named Jonathan Alpert, who wrote an op-ed critically diagnosing the last No Kings rally several months back, he reappeared this weekend and gave a pretty fascinating assessment of the whole ordeal. He does indeed confirm that many of these participants in these rallies are indeed suffering from neurosis. The people who came out, many of them elderly, many of them retired, they admitted on camera that they couldn't enjoy a vacation. They couldn't enjoy time with their family or their loved ones, all because of their psychotic fixation with Donald Trump. And so the psychologists argued that these people are not protesting, they're medicating. Isn't that interesting? They're not protesting, they're medicating. They're using a political rally the way an addict uses a substance for temporary relief, for the dopamine hit of collective grievance, for the illusion of doing something meaningful while their movement quietly collapses all around them. And for me, what was most fascinating in this analysis is that the psychologist diagnosed politics as a form of religion for these protesters, right? Politics has become the new religion of the radical left. And in many respects, I have to say, there it is. Right there. There is this whole thing in a nutshell, right? When you strip out the transcendent, when you secularize everything, as the modern world attempted to do over the last century, when you privatize the churches, pushing them out of the public square itself becomes sacred. Government becomes your new church. Politics becomes your new evangelistic religion. And now the political enemy becomes demonic. And your protests become a revival meeting. Except instead of hope and transformation and grace, you're basically left with good old-fashioned pagan calls for human sacrifice.
That's some big charges, but really think about what he's saying. Really think about what he's actually saying, ladies and gentlemen. The left would argue, though, because that's what they do. They would argue that the same thing about Trump, because they physically, not only mentally, they physically get sick over Donald Trump. This is a phenomenon. They physically get sick over a human being that in their mind, they feel like he's trying to be, or he is a king, which this is a sickness, ladies and gentlemen. It is a bad sickness. This was only the first part of the story. This was only the first part of the story that Dr. Stephen Turley has looked into. Politics becoming the new religion on the radical left. You got to stick around because later we're going to break into the second part of this story, which is crazy. Okay, it's crazy. It just is, in fact, crazy. So again, Wednesday, April 1st, it is April Fool's Day. There used to be things you could say about what's going on in the country that would shock people on April Fools, on April 1st. That's not the case anymore. Shocking things like Sharia law is already here in Plano, Texas, which is where I used to live. That's a suburb of Dallas, by the way. An American investigator was just there confronting a man at the, quote, East Plano Islamic Center, openly standing with his, unfortunately, 10-year-old wife. When challenged, is she your wife? He said, yes. The investigator doesn't hold back, though. He said, please spare me your denials that Sharia law could never happen in America because it's already happening right here. And it's all over. He's got, by the way, 3 more little wives at home. 3 more. Child marriage is illegal in Texas and America. No religious exceptions. None. 0. And there should be no more looking away on this crap, okay? Stop looking away. American law must rule, not imported law from, insane people with Sharia law. Protect your children, enforce the Constitution. Texas, get off your ass. Start acting like Texas again. Period. What's it going to take for these leaders to act? I'm not talking about Texas. I mean everywhere. Everywhere. because immigration, all the illegal border crossings we went through, that we told you on this show over and over for years, not months, but years. Not weeks, not days, but for freaking years. We told you. This is literally look what the country will look like if immigration keeps destroying America. Well, here we are. And that's not April Fools, my friends. That's a bombshell fact. A bombshell fact. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that, hey, we've seen it coming. If you paid any attention whatsoever, you have seen all of this coming. And if you haven't paid any attention, most of your friends have paid a little attention anyway. And now it's here. Okay. Breaking this morning, President Trump is about to surge to the Supreme Court and attend oral arguments in person, which is very unheard of, unless it's Trump, of course. Anyway, Donald Trump is going to attend oral arguments in person at the Supreme Court today, April 1st, 2026. And the arguments are in person to end birthright citizenship for migrants. This is huge. It's huge. Big. SCOTUS must do the right thing and end the scam for our total republic. That's a fact, too. But again, we have always been so nice. So nice. But this is one of the top stories this morning on April 1st, 2026.
Whether the Trump administration can restrict birthright citizenship. The 9 justices will hear arguments about an executive order the president signed on his first day back in office, seeking to deny federal benefits such as passports to children born in the U.S. to illegal immigrants. The order was blocked by several judges who ruled that the 14th Amendment guarantees citizenship to almost everyone born in the U.S. Now it heads to the high court. The president posting on Truth Social, quote, birthright citizenship has to do with the babies of slaves, not Chinese billionaires who have 56 kids, all of whom become American citizens. One of the many great scams of our time, President Donald J. Trump. Some numbers: under President Trump's policy, roughly 255,000 children born on U.S. soil each year would start life without U.S. citizenship, according to the Migration Policy Institute. That's about 6% of all projected births.
Straight to some view.
Crazy, huh? Yeah, crazy. That's going down now in a couple of hours or so. Donald Trump will attend that personally. It's huge. Big news blowing up this morning on the airwaves. It's time to end the chain. Migration incentives. That's what it is. Migration incentives. Traditionally, a president does not, though, appear in person at a Supreme Court oral argument. Legal arguments are traditionally by attorneys representing both parties, not the president directly. But, look, we're talking about President Donald J. Trump. He does things different. Leadership, leading from the front. That is the style of his leadership since he came down the escalator. Period. You can either like it or not like it, but I do know this. He doesn't care if you like it. Okay? He doesn't. He doesn't care if you like it. Y'all get in the conversation. 601-918-8409, 601-918-8409, or get in one of the chat boxes this morning on Wednesday, April 1st. Like I said, I'm going to plug it again. Grip and Grin is today. It's always the first Wednesday of each month. It happens at Mama Hamil's, Madison Ridgeland Highway 51. Should get there about 11 a.m. So you can grab a seat, grab some delicious Southern tradition food over at Mama Hamil's. We have really a great get together every month over there. It's a really good thing. Thanks to Bruce Arlette, Bruce's family, Bruce's wife, all the great people that put that together. And of course, the owners of Mama Hamil's. Been going on for years now. Going on for years. It's awesome. And everybody's always invited. There are no, no, you can't show up. No, everybody, come on. Come on. Tiger Woods. The hell's going on with Mr. Woods? He's just getting all ramped up and vamped up to start playing again in the big tournaments. Somebody get this dude a driver. That's going to be my April Fool's joke for today, actually. Tiger Woods has hired someone to drive him. April Fool's. Anyway, look, I love Tiger Woods. Grew up with him just like the rest of y'all. Great kid. Greatest, or depends, most people think, or the greatest golfer ever. But if he's not the greatest, he's definitely one of them, okay? He said, I know and understand the seriousness of the situation I find myself in today. I am stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on my health. This is necessary in order for me to prioritize my well-being towards lasting recovery. But again, dude, get a driver, man. Get a driver. Bro, you have to get a driver. It's silly at this point. I mean, it really is silly. You can even get Uber Black car service for what, $50? Come on, man. I mean, all of your apologies are accepted, but just get a driver, man. You're worth upwards of close to $1 billion, and you know you can pay a driver. And you say you don't trust them. Well, there's a such thing as a document they can sign, an NDA, where they can't say anything about you, brother. Make them sign it. Make them sign the document. Lord, somebody just texts, hey, Tiger, let me know if you need a ride. Yeah, it's funny, but hey, let somebody know, for Christ's sakes. Please. Let somebody know. Oh, yeah, I've seen this meme going around the internet for the last week or so, however long it's been. A lion would never drive under the influence, but a tiger would. Yeah. Just get a driver, dude. Seriously. I'm not bashing Tiger Woods. I actually like Tiger Woods. Never had a problem with Tiger Woods, except for he won't get a freaking driver. Good morning, Jeff Murrah. Good morning, Topher Brown. What's happening, Mr. Brown? Mr. Woods does need more Jesus in his life. That's right. More Jesus is a great answer. If If y'all haven't seen Topher Brown's podcast, it's pretty freaking amazing. Him and Nick. Check that out for sure. Put that on your podcast checklist. We're going to break, y'all. We're on the radio live at 104.3 FM. And we're also coming to you live on live stream on all different platforms. Wednesday morning, April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. Whatever. No such thing, especially nowadays, because things change so fast you can't think straight.
Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Power 104.3, The Pirate. The Pirate is the heartbeat of Pearl. The Pirate.
The City of Pearl invites you to the free Pearl Day concert featuring Dog Train. Saturday, April 25th, Trustmark Park in the northern parking lot with special guest Hinder. Gates open at 5:30. For details, visit cityofpearl.com. Bring your lawn chairs and enjoy a great night of live music under the stars. No on-site food or beverages allowed.
Don't forget to check out Cypress Point Resort. Memories are made at Cypress Point. Close to home, yet it feels miles away. At Cypress Point, you can truly get away from it all. You can step back to a simpler time, yet enjoy all the amenities of today. Cameron's Garage is a sports bar and music venue. There's a lunch buffet every day inside Cypress Point. They also have a steakhouse and the tavern. The tavern is a quaint little place with live music Wednesday through Saturday. And of course, you've got the safari park and petting zoo. Don't forget about all the event halls, including the wedding chapel and so much more. That's Cypress Point Resort, located at 874 Hollybush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Contact them at 601-829-1101 or at cypresspointms.com.
Welcome back to the Unleashed Media Radio Show and live stream with your host, Daryl Arnold.
We on fire!
Yeah, we're on fire, all right. Today is April 1st. Of course, that would be 2026, ladies and gentlemen. You've tuned into the Unleashed, the uninhibited, unapologetic Unleashed Media Network. We're live on the radio, and of course, we are live on every platform that will have us. Every platform that will have us. All right, we're just discussing little Tiger Woods. Not going to stay on that. Mr. Woods does need Mr. Jesus, like Topher Brown said. I agree. We all need Jesus. We all need more Jesus in our life. We just do. There are a lot of people who need a lot of Jesus in their life because they ignore the fact that Jesus is really the answer. But, opinions vary. But that's my answer. That is my complete answer, and I will stick with that story. Period. Anyway. As we clock after the top of the hour, y'all, it's bright and early on this Wednesday. Got plenty of stuff to talk about. We always do because it never stops. And speaking of never stopping, they never, ever stop with the Trump derangement syndrome. They've already blocked the ballroom plans that is privately funded. It's not taking any of their money or your money or my money, but it's Donald Trump, so they got to block it. Ridiculous. Okay? beyond ridiculous at this point, beyond. But whatever Donald J. Trump does, boom, they're going to do it because they're clueless on why they even don't like him. Like I said earlier, we're going to get deeper into the story of where it itself, for the radical left, politics itself has become a religion. You know, because the clueless people that protest at these, quote, no king protests are simply insane. I mean, they really are. There's no other way to put it. And they're so radical that, you know, I'm going to play some. I'm going to play some of Why Are You There? Of course, everybody plays those. But then in a few minutes, we're going to get, like I promised, into a bigger story of.
Is that a question?
Because
Of why. Sorry, some of this stuff's so ridiculous. A bigger story of why it's the radical left with all of this nonsense. The TDS has become not only a derangement syndrome, but it's also become a religion to them.
King's Day. No freaking king.
No kings in the USA.
No King's Day. Woo!
Yeah! No King's Day.
What are we gonna do to the king?
We're gonna shut him down.
How are we gonna shut him down?
Impeachment.
If there's impeachment, that means there's a Congress and Donald Trump can't be a king.
Right.
Right. Why is Donald Trump a king?
Because he's nuts.
He smells funny.
For real? Is that a question?
Because he has repeatedly overused his
He's trying to abuse this world and try to make this place all about him.
Why are you asking me this? You know the answer.
What's the answer?
You know it.
What is it?
You know the answer.
So many people showed up.
Imagine if they showed up like this for Kamala.
People showed up for Kamala.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
What is one action that Donald Trump took that is impossible to do under the Constitution, but he did it anyway?
I can't name specific laws. I'm sorry.
I lost a lot of thought on that.
You're a reporter. So why don't you do your homework? Don't ask me.
Went to war.
Legally, he could do that.
He can? Oh.
Putting ice in our cities.
Legally, he could put ice in cities.
I don't really give about legally.
Rename the Kennedy Center.
Which amendment under the Constitution is he prohibited to renaming the Kennedy Center?
I refer you to the New York Times 2 days ago. They had a list of 30 items.
And you read it?
I read it, absolutely.
So what is one thing from that list?
One thing from that list is I'm blanking.
I did not fully read it. I've got it. I've read excerpts.
He's trying.
Oh my God. These people have lost any sort of mind that they used to have. Okay. Quite frankly, sort of any mind that they may have had is gone. Okay. It really is gone. And you know, these things keep growing and growing because mental institutions keep going away, and they've gone away. And this is what we get. These people are out making a party like, a pride parade or the Mardi Gras or whatever the party may be. They're just making it a big party. And the insane people show up for that. They don't know what the hell they're there for because 90% of them are getting paid. The other 10% are going because they see crazy folks over there hanging out and raising hell, and they just jump in. Okay, they just jump in. We were talking about when we opened the show up that politics has become the new religion of the radical left. We heard from Dr. Stephen Turley, not to be confused with Jonathan Turley, and we heard about that. But the shocking truth about all this kind of stuff is they truly have done this. Just like the next part of this story is, it has to do with Ilhan Omar and kind of the reasons that they've become so radical on the left, and their new religion is shocking. Well, the shocking truth about Ilhan Omar, a big story in the New York Post. And then the nation where she's from, they claim it would be welcome extradition of Representative Ilhan Omar after immigration fraud elections. It's the headline, but there's so much more to this story. So much more to this story about Ilhan Omar.
Now, the latest bombshell is actually coming from the Republic of Somaliland. I kid you not, the official government account just dropped what they are saying are actual receipts. They're claiming that Omar's real name was always Elmi, right? The same last name as the guy she married. And the reason the family is called Omar is because Ilhan's father, a former Somali military colonel named Nur Saeed Elmi, changed the family name to conceal their true identity when they immigrated to the United States. And that's because, according again to the Somaliland officials, between 1981 and 91, the Somali military executed what's known as the Izak genocide, which was a brutal, systematic campaign targeting the Izak people, who are now the people of the Republic of Somaliland. Over 200,000 civilians were killed. It was utterly horrific. Cities were bombed from the air. Villages were burned. Water sources were mined. It was described really as one of the worst atrocities on the African continent in the 20th century. And Ilhan Omar's father, Colonel Nur Saeed Elmi, served as a senior officer in the very Somali military that carried this genocide out. He was a propagandist, surprise, surprise, for the Marxist regime that...
Y'all, think about all this. Think about all this. We're discussing the reason. This goes back to, which he's going to talk about here in just a few minutes, like 1991, when they came over here. But her father was one of the big leaders in the people that were behind the deaths of 200,000 people, ladies and gentlemen. 200,000. Let's move on.
Ruled at the time. And so when that regime fell in 1991, what did the family do? They fled, but they didn't flee because they were oppressed. They fled precisely because they were the oppressors. You can't make this stuff up. And they weren't about to stick around and face the consequences. So they changed their name, right? They split the family between the United States and the United Kingdom. They told American immigration officials that they were just innocent refugees, and they walked right in. Apparently, the Obama DOJ, this is according to Somaliland officials, they had access to this evidence all along, and they refused to investigate. That is, until now.
Until now. Just unreal, you guys. Unreal. Over 200,000 souls were lost. 200,000 from Marxist people. You know, we would like to be shocked nowadays, maybe, thinking that there's some humanity left. And there is a lot of humanity left, thank God. And that's literally being true, thank God. But Muslim slaughtering people is something that just they did, y'all. Horrific and expected, unfortunately. Seriously. But nothing will probably happen to her is even more sad. Nothing will probably happen to her. It's completely and sad, really sad. Of all these people that do not get perp walked. We talk about that every day. Every single day. But that's what it is, y'all. It's what it is. It is exactly what it is. And now we see why Democrats have chosen to align themselves with illegal immigrants. Of course, far too many Americans know what the hell is up. Unfortunately, the severely sick ones never see it. They never see it because they're so drenched in it. Like I said, it's more of a religion to them, even though they think that Trump supporters are a religion. They have it backwards, but that's the way it's always worked. It's the way it's always worked in a, quote, op, unquote. Period. That's all there is to it. Disgraced Minnesota judge. A lot of those lately. Nancy Brazel gave a 6-month sentence to another Somali fraudster who stole millions. This is becoming the deal. These judges, I want you to think about this really hard too, please. If you don't think about anything else I said today or any other day, the rogue judges in this country have completely put us in the places that we are and will continue to put us in the places that we will be. These rogue judges that are not impeached, nothing happens to them, not even a slap on the wrist. They are ruining and running America. How long will we put up with that? Well, why are we putting up with rogue judges ruining and running America? It's a great freaking question. It's something that I'm going to stay on top of. These stories need to be told about these judges. So you need to all grow a pair and tell these stories about what they're doing, wherever you are. Because believe me, they're doing it everywhere. They should all be under investigation when they do all this stuff, period. They're political hacks who think they're above the law. It's that simple. But they are ruining our America for sure. And also running it, which is quite frankly insane. Another example of the disastrous anti-American changes that Barack Hussein Obama, Barry Boy, imposed on the American citizens. If you don't see it, do some homework. Do some homework. I'm going to say it one more time and we're going to move on. these activist judges who are running and ruining our America country are a disgrace to the country and to their profession. Get rid of all of them. Get rid of all of them. Check their damn bank accounts, too, on the way out. Do it. Stop talking about it and do it. American people are tired also of nothing being done. We're tired of no perp walks. We are. We're tired of no perp walk. Holy crap, breaking 7 minutes ago, President Trump is seriously considering withdrawing the United States from NATO. He said, our allies messed up big time. The future of NATO alliance seems very much up in the air today. And that's what happens when you abandon America. Okay? Because that's what they do. They abandon America. Sadly. This was just 5 minutes ago, by the way, this little breaking story.
To London's Daily Telegraph newspaper that he is, quote, seriously considering pulling the US out of NATO. That obviously would be a historic decision. The UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer responding today defiantly, saying once again, as he said before, this is not our war, and we, the UK, will not be dragged into it. The future of the NATO alliance seems very much up in the air today.
Yep. Remember the last time NATO messed with Trump? I do, in case you don't. I do, in case you don't. Seriously. Look, we've talked about this for weeks and months and all that, but pressure from people or multiple members, as I should put it, of Congress is, of course, increasing for John Thune to cancel his freaking vacation and get back to work in D.C. This is a perfect time to remove him, though. Honestly, it is. It's a perfect time to remove him. Right now, actually.
One, there's a path through reconciliation, but that takes time. You know, the Senate sent over a crap piece of legislation to the House, and they left town. And so this is what they normally do, is that they let down the American people, and then they run, hide, and leave town. And that's why we need appropriate leadership who is really willing to charge ahead in the Senate. And so, like, you can't, change the rules, change the meat of a piece of legislation and not expect the House to come back and say, oh, by the way, this isn't good enough. This is not what we promised the American people. And so we did the right thing. We stayed in town. We worked on the weekend. We gave them a piece of legislation that the American people want. And what did they do? They went back home to their districts. They went to Disney World. They had Jell-O parties, whatever the heck they do in the Senate, because they don't work as hard as we do in the House. And again, I'm willing to go back today. If there's a path forward and we need to work on a piece of legislation, I'll spend Easter in Washington, D.C. to get this done for the American people, to get this done for TSA. Oh, and by the way, CISA, again, like I said before, which protects us from cyber attacks.
There you go. This would be the perfect time to remove the so-called leader, John Thune. Right now, actually. The perfect freaking time. I just read a headline that said, California voters are starting to think something is wrong with Gavin Newsom after he lost his train of thought several times in a recent interview. If you didn't know that there was something wrong with Gavin Newsom by now, you are part of the problem. Period. You are part of the problem. Lord have mercy. Something's wrong with Gavin Newsom. You think? Do you think? Of course you do. There's a story that dropped, I believe, yesterday. It caught everybody's attention. It's the kind of headline that makes you stop and listen twice. So if you've already heard it, you might want to hear it again. I mean, I could, this next story would sound like the perfect April Fool's joke. But Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins kind of sum it up the best. Those guys are pretty funny and pretty cool. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. About this huge story. A lot of y'all know what I'm going to say because it's so crazy that it's, I don't know. I mean, pink hot pants, really?
Man, oh man. You got that out there. The crazy story that we've referenced, David, you were telling us off air.
Yeah.
I don't even know where you saw this.
I didn't see it anywhere. Holy cow. It's the Daily Mail, so take that for what it's worth. But they have screenshots and photographs of this. Former DHS Secretary Kristi Noem's husband, Brian Noem, apparently used a pseudonym and spent over a year communicating with women in an online fetish community. And he exchanged messages and photos, including images of himself dressed in women's clothing with fake boobs, like big ones.
He's wearing prosthetics.
He's wearing the prosthetics, yeah.
Okay, I understand this isn't the biggest story of the day.
It's the weirdest.
World news, political, whatever. However, the whole thing with Kristi Noem, when she got fired, it was for, the way you understand it, a number of different reasons.
Yeah.
And part of that was her alleged boyfriend, Corey Lewandowski.
Right.
Sort of running amok. At least that's the way it was told. Okay. And that had been like this, open secret really for 3 years?
Oh,
more?
yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how you took that story in. I think a lot of us thought, wow, the poor husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
He he's just been cheated on and poor guy got left in the dust there. You never know what the heck's going on with people, do you?
No, I think
it's another lesson again. You don't know the inner workings of a relationship or personal lives because that's bonkers.
Yeah, it's like if somebody were to tell you, like, I don't know, 3 months ago, hey, what happened to Kristi Noem? What's the deal here? And then you said, well, she found her husband's fake boobs. You'd be like, oh, a lot of pieces of this puzzle are coming together.
Okay. Yeah, like all of a sudden you have this picture, man, she just left the husband in the dust because I guess Corey Lewandowski wooed her in some sort of way.
Yeah, well, he gets around the...
Well, yeah, I mean, he only dresses as a pirate and wants to be called matey.
Man, I'm telling you. Well, since they broke that story from the Daily Mail, it is true. That's what's going on with Kristi Noem's husband. She has since put a statement out saying how shocked, sad, etc., so on and so on. These people have grown kids. This man is wearing hot pink pants, short shorts like Daisy Dukes from the old school, prosthetic boobs with nipples. Good Lord, what's happening to this world? What's happening to this country? Or what, in fact, has already happened should be the bigger question, the bigger question. What has already happened? Not what's going to. Yikes. That's what somebody texted me named Christy. Yeah, you're right, Christy. Yikes. Another one is just wait till Gutfield hears this. Yeah, well, I think he already has. He's already gone off on it, but yeah. Yikes is a good one. David Hall, ADQ, the song Dude Looks, oh yeah, Aerosmith. Dude looks like a lady. That's what I should have queued up. You're right, David. He also said maybe throw a public service announcement out that there for folks driving and listening on the way in this morning, tell them to put down the damn cell phones. Quit texting each other with both hands. Pay attention to the road. I've seen more than a half dozen people in less than a mile texting with both hands. It's insane out here. That's David in the car. Thanks, David Hall, for listening to the show on the radio 104.3 FM. We appreciate it every day. We do. We appreciate our listeners from D&K and from Unleashed and from the radio. John Weed checked in this morning. Good morning to him as well. Good stuff happening out at the Tavern and at Cameron's Garage all week. And of course, we're gearing up for the biggest thing, the biggest buffet, the biggest Easter celebration with your family on Sunday. It's always the biggest buffet around, the best. That is Cypress Point Easter. Really and truly just amazing. If you've never just gone for the food and you know, some good family time after church on Easter, we'll be closing at 4 p.m. that day so our staff can be with their families. But it's just an amazing deal. Now, of course, we have regular music in the Tavern starting tonight, actually. And then, of course, we have a special concert going on in the Cameron's Garage tonight, which is Bradley Parker and Dylan Alford's double birthday celebration. Laura Lee will be there, etc. The music will be good, ice cold beverages, food, and etc. And a big happy birthday to those two. And of course, we have the Thursday night bike night in Cameron's Garage, obviously with Phil Yarbrough and Jason Turner. Friday night is the Smoke, the full band in the Cameron's Garage. You hadn't seen these guys. Need to make it a point to get out and see them because they're amazing. They are, in fact, 100% amazing. And then Saturday night is the big show. The touring artist who gets around, baby, Thomas Kane, making a stopover in Brandon and Rankin County on Saturday night at the Garage. Thomas Kane.
Don't forget to check out Cypress Point Resort. Memories are made at Cypress Point. Close to home, yet it feels miles away. At Cypress Point, you can truly get away from it all. You can step back to a simpler time, yet enjoy all the amenities of today. Cameron's Garage is a sports bar and music venue. There's a lunch buffet every day inside Cypress Point. They also have a steakhouse and the Tavern. The Tavern is a quaint little place with live music Wednesday through Saturday. And of course, you've got the safari park and petting zoo. Don't forget about all the event halls, including the wedding chapel and so much more. That's Cypress Point Resort, located at 874 Hollybush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Contact them at 601-829-1101 or at cypresspointms.com.
Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
Wake up in the morning. Welcome back to the Unleashed Media Radio Show and live stream with your host, Daryl Arnold.
We on fire!
Yeah, we are on fire. We're on fire this morning, baby. This being Wednesday, April Fools. Happy April 1. It's April 1, 2026, ladies and gentlemen. It's flying by quick, and fast. Real fast, ladies and gentlemen. Super duper quick. We just heard from Mississippi Coding. Ladies and gentlemen, they do so much more. They have different tiers. They have different programs. The next program. Everybody needs to know at this point, in my opinion, needs to learn about AI because it's taking over the world every day right now as we speak. It basically already has. Stop being left behind, mscoding.org, mscoding.org. We're going to have Bob, one of the directors, on soon to really get down into the nitty-gritty of how all these things work. All these things. Because they really do. Well, it would blow your mind, put it that way. It would blow your mind on how they work and what all they do, you know, what all they do.
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
You the guy with the Van Halen tickets?
Are you the guy with the Van Halen tickets? Are you the guy with the Van Halen tickets?
No.
All right, so look. Yeah, if anybody remembers that movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, what was the name of the scalper? I know the answer. What was the name of the scalper?
For you, gentlemen.
You the guy with the Van Halen tickets?
That could be.
How much you want for something in the first 10 rows?
$20 a piece.
Those tickets are only $12.50.
So don't buy them.
Come on, Arnold. All the other scalpers are sold out.
Scalper? Did you call me a scalper? Listen, gentlemen, I perform a service here, and the service costs money. Now, do you want the tickets or don't you?
Okay, we'll take them.
All right. What did I say, 25?
20.
Hey. Yes, David Hall was correct. The first one to pop through. Damone, baby. And it was Damone. I was in a band in Los Angeles called Best of Seven. I saw a video pop up this morning and made me think of it, but we had a song called Mark Ratner, which was about Mark Ratner, which was Damone's buddy that worked over at the movie theater. Had a crush on the girl, played by Jennifer Jason Leigh. Those kind of movies, man, There's no more movies like that. It's just not. And look, I hate to stick it in the face of people every day and say, you don't know what you missed. You don't know what you missed. But really, you don't know what you missed. So go out and watch all that stuff. See how it was back in the day. You'll probably enjoy it. You probably will enjoy it. Good morning, Cindy, the beautiful one. We will be there Saturday, several birthdays to celebrate. She is talking about Cypress Point Resort and Easter. That's right. Jim Raspberry and the Hizzy. But yeah, Damone. It was Damone, ladies and gentlemen. The original OG. Selling tickets. Back when tickets were $5, $10, $15 for concerts. And the $15, $20 ones were like festivals with tons of bands. Yeah, those days are gone, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Those days are gone. See ya. We wish they weren't, but they are. I will tell you about a concert that you will think that is April Fool's, but it is not, because it is true. We're talking about April 25th right here in the city of Pearl on Pearl Day 2026. You're going to have Daughtry, massive hits, massive touring, big band, opening the show. Hinder, of course, hits like Lips of an Angel and etc. That's April 25th. And guess what? Free, Free. Free concert, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody else does that. Nobody. Show up. Will Kane, talking about the No Kings, I would suggest that you, in fact, stay informed. That's what I would suggest too. That's just me. They're, not just funded by billionaires at this point, but they're driven by an open agenda. I mean, really, like I said earlier, and I will continue to say, as we read that story and talked deeply about Ilhan Omar, and we talked deeply about the radical left acting like politics is their religion now. Here's Will Kane.
Feedback. Stephen Kuntz writes in on X, Will, you are trying way too hard to discredit the No Kings protest. By far, the majority of these people are like me. They are ordinary, informed citizens who see Trump for what he is and for the harm he is doing. I appreciate the respectful response, Stephen. This would be my response to you. I do not think I'm working to discredit No Kings. I'm actually reporting on some facts to you about No Kings. If those facts are inconvenient, then they may serve to discredit something that you feel like is legitimate. As to whether or not the majority of these people are informed citizens, I would suggest to you that, in fact, you are not informed. And it is my job, and I am trying to inform you about something that is much larger that you might be a part of. It could be true that you are ordinary citizens who desperately dislike President Donald Trump, but you're not simply a gathering of people who dislike President Trump or might be suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. You're actually pawns. One could argue useful idiots under the banner of ordinary citizens for billionaires with a bigger agenda. See, the discreditation is due to the fact that these protests are not just funded by billionaires, but they are driven by an overt, open agenda. All you have to do to learn that is just be a bit informed. And then maybe one day wake up when you're standing in the streets of, say, Times Square, next to a guy who's waving a communist flag, asking yourself, what is it?
Thank you. Will Kane, thank you very much. Kind of broke that down right, because what are these people going to think years from now? What are their kids going to think? What are the kids going to think? Because so many of them are useful idiots for Soros and etc. right now. Seeing them, all the billionaires. All the billionaires. The No Brains rally. Yeah, thanks for the text there, Sam. The No Brains rally happened all over America. We citizens, this is from a guy named Bob, aren't even pawns. Aren't even in the game. The media are the pawns. Money is king. Dark pools is the queen. And Trump's just playing chess trying to keep up. Well, there's a lot of truth to that too. But the idiots that go out on the streets and wear orange faces and all that crazy nonsense, it's not the answer either. That just means you're a radical and you have let it literally ruin your life. A person, a president, you let them take over your life with your syndrome. Sadly. Also, the big, huge news yesterday was with the stroke of a pen, President Trump signed the landmark executive order that cracks down on mass mail-in voting and ensures citizenship. And yeah, it's kind of a big deal, y'all. It's a big deal, y'all. Keep up. The order requires DHS to create a list of United States citizens with the help of the Social Security Administration. So get ready, y'all, because the Democrats will immediately sue and try to block this. And those very bad judges I was talking about that are ruining America and running America, they will be losing their minds too. It must be upheld, and Congress should codify this now. Very bad judges. You know what's going to happen. The only way it can be changed is hopefully we will win on appeal. I mean, they're going to appeal. I mean, they're going to try to not make this happen.
And I'll make this signature absolutely perfect. So it looks very good.
He said, let me make that signature real perfect with the stroke of that pen. Donald J. Trump, there will never be another one. But what will happen after Donald Trump is the big question. I hear that question more and more. And I literally ask myself that question more and more. What will happen after Donald Trump is gone and left and no longer president? That's a really good question. It's really deep thought, too. But the executive order just signed by POTUS, the good, the bad, the ugly, which means what's next. Will most states accept it? I don't know. I do not know. But what I do know is they still have not gotten off their butts and signed or done anything regarding the Save America Act. We've talked about that until our faces are red, blue, and green all put together. So, on another subject, before we get out of here today, from day one, the mission has been crystal clear when it comes to Trump. I mean, and not only crystal clear, but final. The best chance to wipe out all this threat and these threats, plural, for good. As Senator Marco Rubio breaks that down for you.
Asking, why did the United States have to attack Iran now? Well, let me explain. Iran wants to have nuclear weapons. Of that, there is zero doubt. If what they truly wanted, which is what they claim, is nuclear energy, Well, they could have nuclear energy like all the other countries in the world have it. And that is you import the fuel and you build reactors above ground. That's not what Iran has done. They build their reactors and their facilities deep in mountains, away from the public glare. And they want to enrich that material. The same equipment that they could use to enrich material for energy, they could use to quickly enrich it to weapons grade. So it is clear that they've been offered every opportunity to have a nuclear program that allows them to have energy, not weapons. And every single time they have turned it down. But why the attack now? Well, what was Iran trying to do? Iran was trying to build a conventional shield, in essence, have so many missiles, have so many drones that no one could attack them. And they were well on their way. We were on the verge of an Iran that had so many missiles and so many drones that no one could do anything about their nuclear weapons program in the future. That was an intolerable risk. Under no circumstances can a country run by radical Shia clerics with an apocalyptic vision of the future ever possess nuclear weapons. And under no circumstances can they be allowed to hide and protect that program and their ambitions behind a shield of missiles and drones that no one can do anything about. This was our last best chance to eliminate that conventional threat, that conventional shield that they were trying to build. And the president made the right decision to wipe it out now. That is the goal of this operation, to destroy their conventional missiles and their drone program so they can't hide behind it and finally have to deal with the world seriously about never, ever having nuclear weapons.
Yep, Mark Rubio. What a true patriot. What a very smart gentleman who actually knows what the heck he's talking about. Not just, noise, not just the old, but the real know what he's talking about, okay? I thought that was a great clip, ladies and gentlemen, that really digs deep into the real reasons that things are happening in the country. The ones that people try to ignore, those people being the ones on the left that only run around wetting their pants steadily while they're changing panties from the first time. Or diapers, rather. Let's not even go that far. Diapers. Baby diapers. We got one more break before the top. And I just want to thank everybody for listening every morning. Today is Wednesday, April 1st. You are listening to Unleashed, Uninhibited, and, of course, Unapologetic every single day. Anyway, my name is Daryl, and I'll just say this. We're going to keep doing this like we've always been doing this. We're going to keep doing it, and then we're going to keep doing it, and then we'll continue to keep doing it after that. So, thank y'all for hanging in there with me. This is a throwback go to break from straight out of Kathmandu's. We'll be right back.
The City of Pearl invites you to the free Pearl Day concert featuring Dog Trade. Saturday, April 25th, Trustmark Park in the northern parking lot with special guest Hinder. Gates open at 5:30. For details, visit cityofpearl.com. Bring your lawn chairs and enjoy a great night of live music under the stars. No outside food or beverages allowed.
If you or a loved one need reliable medical equipment, Trust a Name Mississippi has depended on for over 20 years. Mobility Medical, located right in Flowood, is your local family-owned source for mobility and home healthcare solutions. From power wheelchairs and scooters to lift chairs that help you relax in comfort, they've got everything you need to stay independent and live better every day. Need help at home? Mobility Medical offers hospital beds, tables, and essential supplies, and more. What sets them apart? It's their personalized service. Their experienced team works one-on-one with you to find the right equipment. Serving all of Mississippi and beyond with in-store support and delivery options available. Mobility Medical, helping you move better, live better, and stay independent. Visit them today in Flowood or call to learn more.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Power 104.3, The Pirate. The Pirate is the heartbeat of Pearl. The Pirate. Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
You the guy with the Van Halen tickets?
That could be.
How much you want for something in the first 10 rows?
$20 a piece.
Those tickets are only $12.50.
So don't buy them.
Come on, Arnold. All the other scalpers are sold out.
Scalper? Did you call me a scalper?
In the parking lot of Kroger, Firestone, or Kathmandu's. Little throwback today on this April 1st. And really, it wasn't April Fool's either, because those things really happen. And people really had common sense then, ladies and gentlemen. They did. They had common sense, which is extremely rare now. But we did have it. And not just us, pretty much everybody. Even these other whacked out countries, for the most part. Not all of them, of course. But for the most part, they even had common sense. But Marco Rubio was talking about the mission from day one. It was clear. Super clear, y'all. From day one. That's just the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I know that people don't want to hear it, but it is the truth. And also, we spoke a lot today about the judicial system that is too corrupt. But yet, to arrest those committing crimes, it's not happening. Here's Don Jr., as in Trump.
Mentioned, we've been covering the fraud everywhere. Minnesota, California, rampant, and I'm sure they'll get into a lot of that. But, now Ukraine. I mean, J.D. Vance has a fraud task force. Kash Patel is turbocharging the fraud probes. We have a new joint task force with the FBI and HSI in the One Big Beautiful Bill. How can we, bring all of this together to deliver, actual indictments and recover funds? Because, we see this stuff all the time. It's almost a never-ending amount of fraud and almost a never-ending amount of, culprits. Yet, I know I do, and I'm sure all the people watching, they want to see indictments. Now, they got to understand there is a process, maybe explain that a little bit, because if you break the process, you break that sort of, chain a little bit, it's a lot worse, because not only will nothing happen, they'll weasel out of it and probably continue this stuff. But can you talk a little bit about that? Because, again, I think people do want action. It seems the Democrats get action without following the rules. We won't get that. It'll get venue shopped to a judge who would throw it out in 2 seconds. So we have to play by a different fact set, unfortunately. But how does all that work right now?
Well, I think one of the things that you're seeing is a little bit of innovation by the Trump Justice Department in where they pick venues. So, if you go to D.C., New York, you're not going to get a conviction. Traditionally, that's where most big government fraud cases have gone. However, if a single subcontractor is in another state, or if a single contractor or NGO is in another state, you're seeing this Trump Justice Department move cases to those states. That's how the grand conspiracy case is now down in Miami. Last week, you saw Bill Pulte, the Federal Housing Finance Administration Director and the head of Fannie Mac and Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. He referred Letitia James a second time. She gets cleared in Northern Virginia the first time. He sends a second referral this time. He sends it to Florida and to Chicago, because that's where the mortgage insurance companies or the house insurance companies were based.
But when are we going to see the perp walks? When are we going to see the perp walk? unfortunately, a lot of the evidences was collected, and it's already been collected, but it's been stepped on so many times by so many so-called lawyers for the ridiculous left-wing folks that break the law all the time. You know, and I look, I respect Solomon, Don Jr., all these guys that are, and ladies that are putting out these documentaries that expose all the operation and political corruption that happened during Obama administration, Biden administration. But the American people that are down on the streets that I talk to, they just want to know where the perp walks. They want to know, where are the perp walks? And that's a darn good question, ladies and gentlemen. A really good question. Where are the perp walks? Where? I don't know. But I do know that today is Wednesday, April 1st. We're rolling in. Don't forget to check us out with all the great things going on at Cypress Point this week and weekend. It is Easter weekend. Remember what it's all about. Thanks to all of our other sponsors. Thanks for all of our listeners. Thanks for everybody on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, all of that stuff. We appreciate the heck out of all of it. Getting ready to roll out of here at the top of the hour, which will be here in just a second. So once again, check out all the shows also that are on 104.3 WPDP. And then, of course, all the live streams. My name is Daryl. You've listened to Unleashed Media, my show. See ya.
Thank you all for tuning in. Hashtag unfiltered, hashtag unapologetic, America First Talk at its best, where we party the right way. See you next time, or else.